some of the problems that have beset the economy in recent years. The package improves fairness and the integrity of the tax system. It ensures that taxpayers with similar circumstances and true economic incomes will have similar tax positions. The package is broadly neutral in terms of income distribution. While higher income earners pay more tax and therefore receive larger personal income tax reductions, these groups also bear most of the impact of the tax base broadening measures. In addition, the compensation package is targeted to those on lower incomes. On average, most New Zealanders receive roughly a 0.5% to 1% average increase in real disposable income. The impact of the tax changes on economic growth will be positive, though only a small allowance has been made for this in the fiscal projections. Finally, I thank my colleague, the Honourable Peter Dunn, who as Minister of Revenue has worked tirelessly to help deliver the tax package before the House today. Mr Speaker, Budget 2010 also contains a range of other initiatives that will promote growth. We have focused on investing in innovation and encouraging growth in selected productive sectors. The budget allocates $320 million over 4 years for a range of science and R&D incentives, lifting total spending to $750 million per annum. This includes business R&D grants and assistance for firms to access new ideas, science and technology from public research organisations, stronger commercialisation within CRIs and universities, and research infrastructure. The global financial crisis was a setback for tourism. The budget allocates $30 million of new spending in 2010-11, mostly to increase the marketing of New Zealand as a tourism destination internationally. The Government will legislate this year to support the aquaculture sector's objective of becoming a billion-dollar industry by 2025, working with industry and other stakeholders to lift regulatory barriers. Late last year, the Government agreed to most of the recommendations of the Capital Market Development Task Force and is in the process of implementing them. The Government released a plan to unlock New Zealand's petroleum and mineral potential in November 2009 and has begun implementing it. This budget funds implementation of that plan. Water is also a key strategic resource. The Government is currently working on improving the regulatory regime, including those parts that impact storage and irrigation as part of an efficient and sustainable water management program. Mr Speaker, another important leg of our growth plan is to improve access for New Zealand exporters to world markets. China has recently and rapidly become our second largest trading partner. Given the increased importance to New Zealand of trade with Asia and the Pacific Rim, we have also recently signed free trade agreements with Hong Kong and Malaysia and are negotiating with Korea and India. Our agreement with the 10 countries of ASEAN recently came into force. We are working with the Trans-Pacific Partnership regional grouping, including the United States, to open further markets and opportunities for New Zealand exporters. Mr Speaker, to ensure that these and related initiatives continue to benefit the economy, we have established a Productivity Commission. This will be a standing body with high-level expertise operating independently, with a wide brief to undertake inquiries and productivity-related matters. It will be in place by April 2011. The Government also intends to release a discussion document on ways to ensure that all new and existing regulation is subject to proper scrutiny. This will help avoid proliferation of red tape. For both of these initiatives, the Government is grateful for the leadership shown by the Honourable Rodney Hyde and the ACT Party. Mr Speaker, I now turn to how the Government can ensure better delivery of services to the public. A more efficient public sector will deliver better quality services while reducing fiscal and tax pressures on the rest of the economy. The Government determined that rather than spread new spending resources thinly, it would focus on those few high priority areas that really mattered. So 3/4 of the new spending allowances has been allocated to improving health and education services and lifting science and innovation. Most Most of the other votes received either small or no increases. Many will see no additional funding for several years. The government is working with public sector chief executives to deliver higher quality services more efficiently, as every other organisation in the community has had to do over the past 2 years, and I thank them for their efforts. We will continue to scrutinise every dollar of public spending. As we committed a year ago, Budget 2010 lives within a new operating spending allowance of $1.1 billion per year. In addition, a further $1.8 billion has been made available between now and 2014 by redirecting resources into higher priority areas, including within health and education spending. Core Crown expenditure also increases due to rising benefit and superannuation costs, increased finance costs and expenditure on the emissions trading scheme. In total, Core Crown expenditure is forecast to increase by $5.9 billion to over $70 billion in 2010-11. Mr Speaker, the largest share of new spending has been dedicated to improving core government services. In total, health has been allocated an additional $2.1 billion over the next 4 years. Including an extra $512 million in 2010-11 to cater for ongoing demographic and price pressures. This includes $93 million for disability support and $60 million to boost elective surgery over the next 4 years. The government's commitment to education remains strong. This government wants all young New Zealanders to reach their potential and be given an opportunity to succeed. The budget provides an extra $1.6 billion for education over 4 years. This will fund a 4% increase in operating expenditure for schools. It also includes $349 million for school property, $92 million to raise participation in early childhood education for families in areas currently underrepresented, and $48 million to extend the youth guarantee. Social services are also a priority. Building on the success of the government's Community Response Fund, the budget provides $91 million over the next 4 years for non-government organisations to deliver extra services. Justice receives $147 million in new operating expenditure, as well as significant capital expenditure. This will fund a lift in prison capacity, legal aid restructuring and increase family and youth court professional services. Our commitment to whānau ora is matched by funding of $134 million over 4 years. The first wave of 20 whānau ora providers will be selected through an expressions of interest process that begins next month. The budget provides almost $20 million for 2 new whare oranga ake integration units. I particularly thank the Honourable Dr Peter Sharples and the Honourable Tariana Turia as the ministers responsible, together with the rest of the Māori Party. The government retains an ongoing commitment to growing the supply of affordable housing for New Zealanders and their families. $20 million has been provided to extend Housing New Zealand's Housing Innovation Fund for another year. Mr Speaker, the government is determined to improve the management of government-owned assets. Too often, government assets have been poorly managed and liabilities poorly monitored. As at the 30th of June 2009, the Crown balance sheet showed $217 billion of assets and $118 billion of liabilities. The Crown has a wide range of holdings and is by far the largest asset owner in the country. It holds $100 billion of what could be termed social assets, including roads, national parks, state housing, schools and hospitals. It holds $70 billion of financial assets, comprising a wide range of local and overseas investments, all of which produce commercial returns. And it holds over $50 billion worth of commercial assets, comprising mainly SOEs and Kiwi Rail. These assets have been funded by New Zealanders